Okay, so we are here for another Astro Psychic Predictions week. It's been kind of a busy week this week in August. I mean, it seems as if things are moving slow, but actually behind the scenes, there's lots of stuff going on, guys. So I am recording for this week. Coming up tomorrow, August 16th through August 22nd. This is a new series I've started, just doing predictions for each of the astrological signs. My name is Carla Baron. I'm a psychic, I'm a medium, I'm a psychic profiler. I've been around for a while, so if you need to kind of look me up, just go on my website, my main site, and that has links to all the other ones, or go to my link tree that's up in all my bios, and that will give you all the links you need. Psychic testimonials are on there, my Instagram, my YouTube, my psychic session guidelines, all of that. All right, so let's not wait anymore. Let's get into this coming week, August 16th, starting tomorrow through next Saturday, August 22nd. First up, as always, we have Aries, Aries the Ram. And this is for sun signs, not moon, rising, Venus. You know, it's for your sun sign. All right, so my do this week. I'm pointing my crystal at me. You would see this as if I were on YouTube, you would see my hands moving that crystal. That will come shortly. As soon as I move, guys, I promise. All right. So I have my regular playing cards, which you can see what my process is in my psychic session guidelines. Sort of describes, it goes to my Facebook, which I pretty much haven't posted on in quite some time, but I keep it up because it has all my great information. All right, Aries. Let's take a look at this coming week for you. Let's see what's going on. What is my message for Aries, my Rams? What is happening with you guys this week? What is the message for this week for Aries? Okay. Just relax while I interpret what I'm seeing. Okay. Okay. Aries, you may have gone through some sort of a breakup or a separation. And I am telling you to just hold the course, okay? Because I know all kinds of threats were made that it was over, that it's no longer happening, that it will never happen again, but that is not true. Because what I see here is your partner just needs a little chance to calm down. And this is actually an opportunity for you this is showing me your career. This may have been the thing that set the whole thing off, the whole fight off, the whole argument. Could have been your career, or how much time it takes, how much effort, how much energy the career is taking away from the relationship or the marriage, or, you know, the two of you guys. So let me look at that again. I just need to confirm. Yeah, we're moving into September with brighter skies on this one. Let me just see what's going to happen and what the actual forecast is. All right, Aries, here's what you need to do. Whoever my Aries are and you're listening, I know this isn't like you really, but you need to sort of telegraph to your partner that this is the truest love that you've ever had. And you need to stay with that because they don't know. Either you didn't tell them enough times or they just didn't hear you the first time you said it. I don't know what the reason was. But if I can get my Aries to just sort of, lay down the armor and to be forthcoming with making your partner feel a little more secure because they think you're running out the gate like a racehorse. They don't feel like you're going to stay, that your energy is reading like you're going to abandon the relationship in some way. Look, I know you guys want to save this, so just try to just let them know. It's not going to cost you anything, and it's going to save things. Let them know. Let them know that they are your true love. And again, I don't know why they didn't hear it the first time, or maybe you just playing, A lot of my Aries tend to play games. I don't know why, because they never work. These little games, these little love games don't really work. I mean, it works for if you need to unattach yourself from a certain relationship that means nothing to you. But if you're trying to be in the big leagues and you're trying to play this the way you need to be honest, forthcoming, and just let them know once and make sure they're listening. Let them know once and let them know this week that everything that you feel for them is genuine. Okay? All right. So that's my weekly prediction for my Aries, August 16th to the 22nd. All right. Let's move on to Taurus. My little bulls in a china shop. All right, so you guys, Taurus, let's see what's coming up for you this week. What is happening for my Taurians, my little bulls, my baby bulls? What is happening for you? What is the message? Okay. Okay. All right. For this week coming up, for my Taurus, I'm seeing that you're worried about your path. You're worried that it's taking you away from other things where you will feel more secure. You'll have more of a sure footing in your life. I'm just seeing that you're worried that the path you're on is taking you further and further away from, just like the daily thing that makes you happy. You're feeling insecure about this. You're wondering if you made the right decision. So I'm going to look. Let's see if you made the right decision, Taurus, for this week coming up, August 16th to the 22nd. Let me just see. Taurus, did you make the right decision with your path, with your life path? Okay. You did, but you're allowing outside influences, third-party influences to weigh in on something that you can do. I don't even see that there's a problem, except for the fact that you're allowing this bleed through of third-party interference, almost like static electricity, to influence or impact your your decision that you made. And the reason you made the decision, from what I can see here, the reason you decided on this life path was, okay. It looks like you switched gears, is what I'm seeing. And that's why you have like the sense of disappointment or the sense of a letdown, Taurus. And the reason I see this is because you will have much more of a, the original path you were on wasn't going to give you the status that you were looking for. It wasn't going to give you that sense of security that you crave. My Taurus bulls, you guys need, you need more of a guarantee, more of a sure footing, more of a, my life is solid, I know where I'm going kind of thing. And the path you were going to go on was a valid path, but because you were born Taurus this lifetime, it actually, it was causing you some angst as far as, can I survive this way? Can I support myself this way? Will I meet my partner this way, my life partner, or my partner in business, or my, my karmic relationships? Will I meet them through that original path? That original path is still there. It just, sometimes people pick a path and they're like, oh, I'm good at this, so I should do this for the rest of my life. What I've seen in the reads privately with people is that if you're really good at something, it doesn't mean you have to make an entire career out of it. It can be something that supplements your happiness, your joy. It brings you joy to do it. It doesn't mean you have to stop doing it. It just means that that won't be the thing that will be your money maker. That won't be the thing that brings you all the various life choices and lifestyle that you desire. I mean, all right, let's give an example. I was a music major at Carnegie Mellon. I was a singer. I was a piano major, believe it or not. I was like a double major for the first 6 months. And then I said, oh no, oh hell no, I'm not going to spend the rest of my life. I was like in the rehearsal halls 5-6 hours a day. And that's no exaggeration. So, the problem with that was I had to make a decision, did I want to spend the rest of my life doing that? So I ended up learning a lot of life lessons while I was there. I graduated with honors, but, and I worked in a recording studio for a while, and every job I had was a singing job. I sang piano bar and I did all this stuff. But yet there was still this sense of something's missing. I don't feel complete. I don't feel, when I wake up every morning, that this is a complete thing. So when I moved to California and I no longer did the music thing, and then all of this happened with the psychic thing, and it started off as a national radio show for 8 years, and then it transitioned into television, and then it was worldwide distribution for those shows. So, did I regret making the switch? No, not at all. In fact, this is clearly what I was meant to do, because when I wake up every morning, and this is how Taurus the bull, you'll wake up every morning and you know you know in your heart that's what you're meant to do. It doesn't mean that I don't sing anymore. Of course I do. I sing all the time in here. You guys just don't hear it. And it's more for me now instead of having to prove myself to somebody. But the psychic thing, oh, I have messages to give and to share. And I have teaching to do. And I have, this will be involving me for the rest of my life. Okay. So that's why. So if you're wondering, Taurus, the bull, if you split your decision between two things and you said, oh, I'm starting off with this one path, but the other path makes more financial sense in the end, or it makes more security sense, or it's just much more what I'm expected to do, maybe. I don't know. So it doesn't mean you have to throw everything else out. The thing that you're really good at, that you started off really liking and saying, God, I could be really good at this, it doesn't mean that you won't be later. You could easily be that later. But right now, you're establishing yourselves. So stay on the course. Don't doubt yourselves. And save the other things that you're really good at for your own private amusement or your own private happiness. And don't worry about having to make money with those things. Those things made you happy. Those things brought you joy. Those things showed you that you were worthy to yourself. Doesn't mean that you have to, force or push the envelope by saying, hey, I need to do this for the rest of my life and you need to pay me for that privilege. No, no, no. So, Taurus, you're fine as long as you believe in what you're doing. Don't doubt your choices. Do this thing. It's like somebody who has a day job, but the thing they really love, they do at night when they go home, and you will see that it will all balance out. Taurus, you need that security, so don't stop doing that. All right. That was for Taurus. Let's move on. I spent a lot of time on Taurus. Sorry. Doesn't mean the other signs aren't as important. Let's move on to Gemini. My twins. Let's see what's going on with you guys. Gemini, my twins. What's going on with you? What is the message for this week? Coming up August 16th to the 22nd. Gemini. All right. Gemini. Okay. Well, here it is. The message is more that you're going to find that your ability to sort of, I don't know, it almost seems like matchmaking, like your ability to put people together in a group, your ability to organize a group, to take that group and you guys all have a voice or you have a message or you have a cause and you're working on a cause together. Gemini, you're the one who seems to have the rope that ties it all together, that sort of, makes that hand fasting go on, where you're connecting everybody to everybody else. You are the connector. So my Gemini people, remember that your community involvement and the people that you talk to on a daily basis, it's not for nothing. It's not a waste of time. It's something that will actually bring you more opportunities than you ever thought of. So do that connecting. Do the thing you do best. Do that connecting. Communicate with everybody, family, extended family, whatever it is. So Gemini, do that, and you will find that there are little golden nuggets in there for you that all along it was there. It wasn't outside of there. It wasn't an external that you have to go looking for, searching the world for. It was right there within your core group, your extended core group, the people and the contacts that you already have. All you needed to do was check in with them. And that's what you do best. So you're doing the thing you do best, and then all the other fruits of your labors will come forward. What I see happening with that is, okay, one of those people will lead you to another job offer. I'm getting that you have been sort of, fighting and clawing your way through a certain situation through your job / career. If you can find that you can sort of overlook that, okay? My Geminis, I need you to understand that this job, this person you were working for, this organization you were working for, that the answer didn't lie within them. It was with everybody else that you established relationships with, that you had connections with. You are the connector, Gemini. You need to understand that that's where the gold is. That's where you go, panning for gold, is within the connections that you already have and your external connections. The ones you already have, you don't need to seek beyond that, because I see that that's where the new opportunity will come. Are you going to leave the job or the job career idea that you thought you were going to get? Yes, you will be leaving that, but you were meant to leave that anyway. And by the end of this month to mid-September, you will see that this is true, that you were meant to leave that opportunity that you work for now, because it's no longer an opportunity. It's become an abusive, toxic environment for you. So Geminis, don't get all worried about nothing. Your innate gifts swirl around the fact that you are a connector, and you can connect groups of people that never even thought about connecting or overlapping. In a million years, you never thought that these two groups would get to. That's your gift, Gemini. That's what you do. So anyway, use your communication skills, your communicative skills. Allow yourself to reach out to everybody and just see how they are. And then you will learn where this thread is going. That's for this week. That's for this week, August 16th to the 22nd. All right, let's continue on. Let's go on to my Cancer. My little hermit crabs who like to hide and mother and nurture and all, and do all the domestic things. Let me look at my Cancer, the crabs, see what's going on with you guys this week. All right. Let's take a peek at Cancer, the crab. Cancerians, what is your message for this week? Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Um, the key term is changing of the guard. Okay. There's a changing of the guard happening this week, and it will affect you. It will impact you, my Cancers. What's happening with this is, well, you're going to freak out because you're Cancer and you're going to freak out anyway, but try not to, because this was meant to happen anyway. In fact, it's a little late. This should have happened back in February, I feel. But it looks like if you just let it pass over you, that you don't really react to it, you just say okay, 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 and you calm yourself down at night when you go home. um, your sense of home and your sense of security and all that is not at risk, so stop that. What is at risk is you going stale in your life, you not taking chances like you should be, because you're really good at what you do, Cancer. You're really good at what you do. You're actually quite an expert at it. But the problem is that you've been suppressed, and your skills, your gifts have been suppressed in such a way that you've allowed yourself to be overworked, underpaid, underappreciated. And it's not so much a career, it's more of a it's time to stand up for yourselves now. You've been waiting for the savior to swoop in and save you, this Superman to swoop in and save you from your life. Cancers, I have news for you. It's been there all along. All you have to do is realize that this is going to cross over. By the time we get to September 1st, this will be all said and done. It wasn't so bad once you get there. In fact, you'll say to yourself, God, I expected so much worse. And you're going to actually say that to yourselves. But once we get to September, you're going to see why that needed to happen with inside your either your project that you're working on, or your job, or your it's where work meets purpose, meets cause, meets meaning. Okay, so anyway, that's for my Cancers. Remember, hold firm. Realize this should have happened back in February. That's what I'm getting. And if you can just hold on to that idea, just don't react to what's coming this week. Don't react to it. Just go with the flow. Okay? All right. It's for my Cancers. Let's move on. Let's move on to my Leos, my Lions, my little lions. All right, so let's see what's happening with my Leos and what messages are coming forth for this week, August 16th through the 22nd. What do we have for Leos? Okay. Leo, what is the message for this week from my Leos? Okay. You guys have it's almost like the word scintillation. That's the word that I'm getting, like a scintillating connection that's coming, a love connection. Okay. It's scintillating. It's almost like little sparklers, it looks like, and this is in your love life. This is a love connection. And it looks like this will happen for you finally, Leos. You've been fighting it the whole time, it says. And the reason you've been fighting it, Leo, is because you've been calling in certain, it's almost like you got a checklist and they have to check all the boxes and, you know, all the criteria have to be met and all that nonsense. And I hate to break it to you, my Leos, my lovely Leos, that's not the way this is going to work. In fact, you'll be surprised at who the attraction is with. It is not someone you ever thought would come into your sphere. It is someone that brings a spark. That's why I said sparklers. That's what it looks like to me for my Leos. And it has to do with, you know, that checklist, that menu that you're checking off. Oh, I want to order a woman or a man that's all these things that I'm checking off on my list. And if you had actually brought forth what you thought you were wanting or desiring, you would have been in misery. Okay. And I don't say that lightly. What I'm saying is that open yourself to the universe and see what the universe chose for you instead of you choosing for yourself. But in actuality, the universe never chooses anything outside of your agreement. So you already agreed to this. You've just been fighting it. So all my Leos are fighting who they're supposed to be with. Stop. Because this will be a very pleasant surprise. This will be a spark that you never thought was coming to you. And it's like sparklers. So just in time for Labor Day for you guys, my Leos. But yeah, listen to those signs. Remember that checklist where you got to check all the boxes. Oh, I don't want them. I don't want to date them. I don't want to have a relationship with them because they don't check all my boxes. Trust me when I tell you, if you bring in somebody that checks all those boxes that you set up for yourself, you will be miserable. And I am saying that straight up and out loud to you. My Leos, please pay attention. The ones that need to hear this. My Leos. Okay. And that's for this week coming up August 16th to the 22nd. Let's move on. All right. Our next sign is Virgo. My virgins, my obsessive compulsive types, my Virgos. Let me see what's going on with you guys for this week. August 16th to the 22nd, starting tomorrow. For my Virgo sun signs. All right. Yep, there it is. All right. So you've just been angry. My Virgos have gotten very angry at just all of it and ready to give up, ready to just chuck everything and say, okay, it's over. Or I'm not doing it, or I'm digging my feet in and I'm not going to move and I'm just going to be, I mean, okay, throw your little tantrum, my Virgos, but let me say this. What's coming up with this week is you're worried that you will be forced into doing something or being with someone or having a situation that is not of your choosing, that is chosen for you, or that you're forced into doing. And you're worried that that's going to happen. I'm looking at Virgo, and the message I'm getting is there is someone that's there to help you with this. All you have to do is ask for help. There is someone right there in your circle, someone that is your champion, someone that is right there going to help you, Virgo, to not, imprison yourself in this choice that you think you have to do and you're being forced into. That choice is still a choice. You're not being forced to do anything. And I see this person that's going to be your confidant, that's going to be your friend, that's going to be that bridge to the next thing. So you don't have to do it by yourselves, Virgo. That's the message for this week. And start looking around. Get your head out of your asses, and I mean that. And start looking around at who is outside of you. Who's always been there and you've just taken it for granted. Let someone else help you for once. This is for my Virgos, and I see that will work out then. It's just that you feel like you need to be punished for some reason. My Virgos are like in this self-flagellation phase, and you guys need to stop doing that, number one, and look around for who's been there and who's offered to help you, but you haven't taken them up on it. That's my message for my Virgos. You know what? You're going to be very, very happy if you listen to me on that one. Let me know in the comments on YouTube about all that, because that's pretty much where you can comment on these things. And let me know if that actually happened for my Virgos. Coming up this week, August 16th to the 22nd. Let's move on. Libra. My balancing crew, you guys are the arbitrators. You're the ones who are keeping and putting out all the fires. You're keeping everybody from losing their minds. All right, so my Librans, my peacekeepers, my justice seekers, my Librans. What is the message for this week? Coming up August 16th to 22nd, my Libra. Wow. Okay. All right. I'm going to be careful how I say this. I see an older male that may cross over this week. And it looks like you're not even aware. I don't know. It just looks like it's a shock. It comes out of nowhere. And it looks like an older male, a patriarch perhaps in the family, or somebody that's an older male that you knew. And it's going to become a shock for you, my Libra. And you're not prepared at all for this. And you're going to sink into a depression if you don't just listen to what I'm saying and realize that was their exit point, that nobody caused that. Nobody made that happen. They were supposed to go through that door at this time. Okay. But it looks like an older male may cross over this week for you, my Libra sun signs that are listening to this, the ones that were drawn to this podcast. Please understand, if you collapse into, a sadness and an abyss that you can't get yourself out of, that's not your role this lifetime. You're supposed to be there to help all the other ones process what's going on. So remember that. You can be sad, but realize that, if you drag this situation through the mud and it becomes this torture chamber for you and everyone else involved, that's not what this person who is crossing over wanted. Try to celebrate them on their way out, on their way over to the other side. Try to celebrate them. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do. Do what you need to do. But if you find yourself falling in an abyss, listen to this podcast again and listen to what I just said. And it is a surprise. You're not prepared for it, because I get that your head was in the sand about it, almost like you knew they had an illness or you knew it was a long-term thing, and you just weren't prepared for the actual crossing over part. Remember that you're there. Your job is to be the one who, makes everyone else understand what that life represented, what contribution they made, what gifts they gave you while they were here. And that's part of your job, is to sort of assemble all that for them. All right, that's for my Librans. Remember, if you collapse, then everybody else around you is going to collapse like a house of cards. So you don't want that to happen. Okay? This time you've got to uplift. You've got to be that one. You've got to be that beacon of light, that bridge. Okay? All right. So sorry I saw that, but like there are some Librans that are going to benefit from what I just saw. All right. So anyway, let's move on. And now we're at the sign of Scorpio, which is me. So I have to step aside from myself in order to see what this is, which I will. I'll look at it later and pay attention later. All right. So for Scorpio, my Scorpions, coming up this week, August 16th to the 22nd. What is the message for this week for Scorpios? Okay. Okay. I need a couple more. Hold on. All right. This looks like, and believe it or not, it looks like a legal situation of sorts that is going to impact you or your family or something. And because it looks like family unit here, fourth house stuff. So you are going to be given a choice, Scorpios. You're going to be given a choice of a choice. That's what I'm getting. Like a choice is going to be presented to either accept whatever the choice was that's being handed to you, or you stay a little longer and see what happens after that. Let me just look at that part B. Let me see what happens if you stay a little longer and what happens after that. Let me just see. Okay. That's the choice. Door number 2. Okay. The one where you got to stay a little longer and see what happens after that. Because if you take door number 1, that's the easier one. And I'm not telling you which door to take, Scorpio, but I am saying that something is going to come up here. It involves a legal situation. Do not take the first thing that's offered. It's a decoy. It's a red herring. It's made to be more attractive than it actually is, that choice. See if it is at all possible to hold out for door number 2. That's the door. That's the door. That's the success. That's the happiness. That's the achievement. That's the one you're waiting for. That's the one you get to write home about. door number 2. So do not accept the first thing that comes across the table. Whatever this legal thing is, it looks to involve a legal situation. Because I'm seeing a lawyer here. I'm seeing some sort of arbitration or some sort of judgment, some sort of, like something's coming to an end, okay? And I see something being offered. Do not take that offer. Yes, I know you need it. Whatever. Scorpio, do not listen to that. Stay firm. Stay with what you know to be true. And hold out for door number 2. That's all I'm going to say. My Scorpios will know what this is by the end of this week. Remember, don't take the first thing offered, which is a decoy. It is a red herring. It is something that is meant to be all flashy and shiny and nice and whatever. Oh, look at what we're offering you. No, no, no. Do not take it. Hold out. Hold out for door number 2. And that one will be, you'll be so glad that you listened to what I said today. Okay, that's all I have to say about that. So that's for my Scorpios this week, August 16th to the 22nd. I'm recording this on Saturday, so it's the very next day where this begins. And let me know on my YouTube any culmination of those events or manifestations or how weird it was that just happened, that kind of thing. So let me know, because that's important for me to hear if I'm hitting on those targets. Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's go to my Sagittarius, my archers. See what's going on with my archers. See what's happening. My archers this week coming up, August 16th to the 22nd. And again, when I do these podcasts, I start with Aries, I end with Pisces, sort of the natural way of things. And I will have all of these time stamped over there on YouTube, so you guys can just skip to the parts you want to hear about. You, your partner, your children, whatever's happening over there. All right, so let's see what's going on with Sagittarius, my archers, for this week, August 16th to the 22nd. Sagittarius, what is the message? Okay. Okay, interesting. All right. Okay, it seems to have something to do with relocating for my Sagittarians. If you can find yourself, it looks like either a friend or somebody that's in your friend circle or family is aware of something like a grant from the government, or some sort of like a new development that's coming about where people can move for whatever, or you get appliances for half price or something like that. I don't know what it is, but it's dealing with relocating. And there's some sort of a deal attached to it, some sort of a incentive to move. It could be that where you are, they want to buy up that property for development for something else, and they're trying to move people out, and you're worried about losing your home. Let me see if you need to go, but I see that a friend will alert you to this. Somebody in your circle is going to give you a message about this, alert you to what's happening, so that you're not just stuck. You have time. All right, so let me look at my Sagittarius. Should you take Should you pack up and go? Well, I don't think you have any other choice, is what I'm getting. So there is something that's happening. It's either environmental damage, like it's a flood, or something's happening. I just get something is happening with my Sagittarius and where they're living right now, and that you might have to move based on either property damage or your home is damaged. And it was something that you couldn't have helped. It was something unforeseen. And you hear about it, you at least get some sort of a warning, an alert from some sort of friend ahead of time. So you're not just, immediately trying to figure out what to do. Like, you have a little time. And it does look like you're going to have to consider moving. Either they're tearing down the property to build something else there, and they're offering people incentive to move. Whatever it is, it looks like you can't avoid it anyway. So just try to absorb what's happening. Try not to react to it too much, and realize that your situation is moving forward. There's not a lot you can do about it. And will you be happy? You know what? As long as everybody is well, and your family and loved ones and your friends are all good, and nobody is sick and dying, I mean, you'll be fine. You'll be fine with this. All right, so let me take a look at. Then next up is Capricorn. My goats, my baby goats. Let's see what's going on with Capricorn for this upcoming week, starting tomorrow, August 16th through the 22nd. Let's see what's happening, what the message is for Capricorn. For my goats, what is the message for you guys this week? All right, here we go. Here we go. Okay, for this week, Capricorn. Okay. All right. Capricorns are going to be hit with a situation, a unique situation. The ones that are coming to this podcast, the ones where this would apply, where something is presenting as a community for all of you guys. It's more of a community thing. And it looks like my Capricorns are going to be disappointed, but you're the ones that are in power. My Capricorns are the ones that know what to do with this. And I'm seeing that it just looks like a community thing. Like, you're all getting hit with the same thing at the same time. And maybe it's property tax. Maybe it's, I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, like a zoning thing, or maybe it's, it just looks like it's a community, or it is an environmental impact thing where something is happening, but it's the community that is going to suffer for this, or some sort of law that's passed where the community will suffer for this. Capricorns, you have the unique perspective this time to take a look at this and attempt to make sense of it for everybody, because no one actually knows what's going on, and you can actually make sense of it for them. That's number one. Number two, can you do anything about this this calamity, this thing that's going to happen with inside your community. Yes, but you're going to have to, okay, my Capricorns are going to, and you're not afraid of a little work. So Capricorns might actually like this, that you guys will be of service to the rest of the community by, you know, trying to, instead of making somebody else pay for what this was, or make them, you know, the target of your wrath, Capricorns tend to, let's get busy. That's what Capricorns tend to do. Let's get busy. Let's fix this. And what I'm seeing is Capricorns will be called upon for their service, and how they will repair very quickly and explain to everyone what's going on, because that's part of it. Nobody even knows what's going on, and people are in a panic. So Capricorns, you're going to be the ones that are grounded, that are rooted in a sense of self, and you're not going to allow things to get out of hand or to become chaotic. And you'll be the ones that can explain what this was. You know, you can make sense of it for them. That seems to be coming up this week for my Capricorns. All right, let's keep going. Let's go to my Aquarians, my water bearers, my humanitarians, my, you know, this is like a Uranus type. You guys are impacted by electrical forces, like things that are surprising, you know, things that come out of nowhere are my Aquarius people. All right, so let's look. Aquarians, what is the message for this week? Okay, this is of a higher nature. I'm reaching higher because I have all these aces that are coming up. So is this telling me that this goes higher into a collective? And this has to do with spiritual work and making sure that inadequacies or imbalances or you know, evil acts are uncovered as they should be, that you are going to shine a light on things that no longer should be allowed or tolerated. And it looks like, you know, you guys are rising to an elevated position so that you are able to handle this. This could be going as far as saying that you will be part of like an assemblyman or work inside an office for an election coming up, or you know, passing laws or bills that will actually create the type of world you want to live in. And this is for my Aquarians this week. The biggest thing I see with this is all these aces. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is telling me that do not be afraid that you're not important enough, that your voice doesn't matter, because it looks like whatever work my Aquarians are going to be doing, they will make quite an impact, and you will cut through a lot of this nonsense. And it could deal with the elections coming up. It could deal with passing a bill through Congress in the House. It could be through your local legislation or going to the state level. It looks like it's something where if you let someone else do it, if you recognize what the task is, and you just say, oh, well, someone else will do it, it won't get done unless you do it. So Aquarius, listen up. You've got to roll up your sleeves and do this one. Okay, that's you. My Aquarians need to roll up their sleeves and get to work, because you guys are the only ones that know how to do this properly. That's my message for this week for Aquarius, August 16th through the 22nd. And last but not least, let me get to Pisces, see what's going on here. All right. So let me take a look at my fishes. My fishes, what's going on with you guys? What is the message for my fishes? For my Pisces, my compassionate Pisces. All right, so this is the message for this week for Pisces. Okay. 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 This is saying that the message for Pisces this week is just let things happen. Stop trying to check everybody at the gate, you know? I mean, not everything is, something to be uncovered. Not everybody has bad intentions, It looks like this is something where you can actually breathe, Pisces. Use those gills that you have and breathe. Just take a deep breath, guys. Pisces, you need to understand that you don't need to check everybody's intentions at all times and be bracing yourselves for wrongdoings or for people entering into a nefarious stage or causing disruption or you're so like tense and just you're rigid with this. You're finding yourselves doubting every single thing around you, including the air you breathe. Stop it. Pisces, just relax. Allow the universe to take care of you, to cradle you, to make things right. Not everything is someone trying to take advantage of you. Not everybody is trying to destroy you or to take something from you or to cause you harm. I mean, where did we come in this world where, and especially Pisces this week, I'm seeing that, it's like you brace yourself. What kind of a life is that where you can't believe in humanity anymore? Start believing in it. Start believing that there are people that will come to your aid, that if you just call out to the universe to help you and say, please help me with this. If you just say that, Pisces, magically, it's kind of weird how that happens. Instead of always expecting the worst, it's something where I get that you can breathe this week. You can breathe. You can trust again. I'm seeing trust in the universe again. And that's what I'm seeing from my Pisces, from my fishes. Very interesting. That's the word for you guys for this week, August 16th to the 22nd. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this new series I started. I enjoy doing them, so I'll keep it going as long as everybody still wants this to be a part of things every week, and where I give my little take on my psychic take on each of the astrology signs for the upcoming week. And again, it's for sun signs. I don't really concentrate on your moon, your rising, your your Venus. I don't really concentrate on that for these. I try to concentrate on it for just the sun signs to keep it simple. And I will have this up on all the platforms, including YouTube. You can comment on YouTube and tell me if any of this resonated for the ones that were listening for this week. And I will see you guys next time. But thanks for stopping by the live, the ones that did. And I will upload and import. And I'm wishing everybody to just the glass being half full. Okay? It's not all bad, guys. Honestly, there are things to look forward to. I know it seems difficult to believe that, but that's what I'm seeing. All right. So if anybody wants a private session, just go ahead and order in my link tree under Psychic Sessions. This is Psychic Carla Baron signing off, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.